All right, we are live. Good evening, everyone. Basically, I'm trying to do a short little video about something that came up. Now, of course, you know that when I did Project Open Mic, I did it a while back before the midterms. Talked about vote, the elections and what to vote for in the district I am, and also in North Carolina. Now, just to be clear, even though things, how the political sides have been getting a little crazy. I have never told anybody who to vote for because that's subject to so many things. So I let people do things. That's why I rather mostly go towards the props because you could find out pros and cons. Now, I did a. I talked about one of the props, which is basically a voter's ID in North Carolina, the state that I am in. Now, the voter's ID, of course, got voted. This is not the first, but it's the second time the voter ID has passed. People voted for it. But the first time, federal courts shut it down. We made it into a congressional amendment in North Carolina this second time around. It passed. Now, Roy Cooper, our governor, shut it down. So I am going to ask our governor, sir, seriously, why did you veto it? Because the reasons you give is the reasons I've heard many times, and I don't understand it because it's not. You say it hurt minorities, racism, all kind of, and those are the reasons, and it's weird because it's not. I want a logical, legitimate reason because those reasons does not hold water. No, I'm a compassionate person and I want to help people to get their rights to do what I have to do. I've helped people in the hurricane that just passed in North Carolina. Hell, I have also passed people, raised over $1 million to help people when they had the hurricanes in the last year down in the Caribbean. So I'm a compassionate person. And I respect people's choice in many things, but coming from another country to America to live. I came in 2000, and I moved because of how son's taxes and all that stuff in North Carolina. But worked hard, went to school, and of course I am a U.S. citizen. But as had to spend a lot of money to become a legal U.S. citizen, me and my family. So I just don't understand how the voter ID is what it is. So I'll basically read from the News and Observer what they have put down as, because two of the things I want to understand, because it doesn't hold water. So according to, like I said, I'm on the News and Observer. We voted for the bill, but Roy, according to what he said, quote, this proposed law puts a barrier to voting, and that will trap honest voters in confusion and discourage them with new laws, some of which haven't even been written yet. What? All you have to do is show up at your booth, and you show up at your precinct to vote, and you show an ID. That's not that hard, and you could do everything else. Just one little brick on the just to make sure everything is legit. That's all it is. Finally, it's a fundamental flaw in the bill in a sinister and cynical origin. It was designed to suppress the rights of minority. Okay, I'm black, and a legal immigrant. Poor, I was poor, had an ID. Elder voters, I know a lot of elder voters who have IDs. The cost of disfranchising those voters or any citizens is too high. If you're a citizen, that should not stop you. The risk is taking away the fundamental rights to vote is too great for this law to take effect. Nobody's taking nobody's fundamental rights to vote. All you have to do is to show an ID, sir, and you can vote. Just like if I go to a bank and I need to get this check cashed, they want an ID to know that I'm the person to cash the check. That is simple. It is unlikely that any student ID will be accepted for voting in the 2020 elections, and Project National Director wrote in a letter to Roy Cooper. Of course, I try not to make this. I'm trying to make this as non-partisan as I can, but I got to because of certain things. But these were the law was the law was proposed to make these kind of IDs accessible, which there's so many IDs, and this is again News and Observer, driver's license, passports, university, college IDs that meet state standards, military IDs, veterans IDs, state IDs issued for non-drivers, which I know people who have that. So, and also court, county electric board IDs. All these are IDs that you could get that was going to use to find out, hey, are you a legitimate person? Or is this vote fraudulent? Now you say the poor. I have a problem against that, sir, as I want to show right here, because we pay taxes and our taxes go towards this. Now you go to the www.ncsbe.gov and you get a free, again, with taxes, you know, nothing's really free in life. I always tell the truth on that. But you get a free ID. This is from the Wake County Board. Free ID. Wake County Board. I got this when I changed my affiliation because of what I've seen in politics. Now I have voted for a Democrat. I have voted for a politician. I would think, Roy, that a person like me is where your party wants to get, because I am a swing voter. I look at certain things and I vote accordingly. That's the way I do. I do not do all ticket Republican or all ticket Democrat. I think that's a horrible thing for anybody to do, but I don't do that. But this right here is my voter's card ID. This is what this is. This is what I got. I walked in, show it. And you can't say it takes a lot of time, because again, this is from the same place. I'm just going to cover it up from the same place. This is my sister's that just came through, and she just registered. So it's not expensive. Now, I am hoping that you, sir, and anybody who else could explain to me how having a voter ID is racist, when I traveled the world as well too, being that I've traveled the world, sir, and I've seen countries that the third world countries that have not even though they have a form of ID to figure out that people are not voting fraudulently, even if they have to put a special dot on your hand so you can vote twice. And then you telling me countries like that, like in Iraq or India or whatever, they are that they could do it, but a state like North Carolina cannot do that? You have to tell me a reason why this is is not helping, or as you say, suppress voting, because your main quote that from the News and Observer says that we are doing this, we are fighting. Is a solution to a non-problem. Is a solution in search of a problem. Sorry, I want to get your quote right, sir. Is a solution to a problem. Well, what I've seen through many states and see how the fraudulent votes, even from this election to many other elections, we don't have a system to find out if there's fraud. That's the sad part about that. There's many places that vote is happening. You say people are saying this this is democracy where people have the right to vote. Yeah, but also there have been places where Chicago where they have people who voted who are dead. There are people who voted twice or three times or voted in different states. There have been records of that, but you can't find a more records there because most of those states doesn't have a record, which is basically if you have an ID and you put it against your computer system and say, oh, Roy Cooper, let me see, put you in, you are Roy Cooper, okay, and you put it in, you voted already. Something's going on here. We got to find out what's going on. Are you the real Roy Cooper or the person who did it before did that? If you have the system set up to find out about this, then we would have less problems. And you figure out, you're talking about, and also you talked about how we have the absentee balance. But if you I don't know, have it down to 1 week, if that's the case, then if you set absentee ballot to somebody else, then how do we know we would get that? They need ID as well too. So I don't get that, Governor. I wants to know that. Okay. There's a lot of people out there who are puzzled by this because again, we passed the law twice, and you vetoed it, and I want to know how this suppresses votes, because I will play you a clip right now, sir, of people at college student. These are college professors, and people at the voting booths that said this about voter ID is racist. So I want to figure this out. Let me play this audio clip for you, sir. Wow. I apologize. It looked like that. I can't believe that this is happening now to play a simple YouTube clip. Okay. It was basically from NPR going around asking students and people at the how this affects the voter ID for people. But I want maybe let me ask this question too, because I've seen let me just make sure I'm seeing right here. It is a what you call? Oh, make sure I have it. Yeah. Those are the acceptable IDs. There's a quote I want to use as well too in this video, sir, which is. Statements from Democracy Director Thomas Lopez said that the bill appears to have a bias that could be used to discriminate against voters on their race, income, age, gender, and mobility. How can that happen? Please tell me. Anybody could vote. If they're 18 and above, they could vote. So how does it stop a race? I don't have a problem. Many blacks don't have a problem. Many Hispanics don't have a problem. Income. Again, these are free. You could just go to the website I just said. I'll say it one more time. www.ncsbe.gov. These are free. Age. If you're above 18, you have the right to vote. Gender. I don't even want to get into that because that is so stupid. Mobility. If you're disabled, you can do an absentee ballot vote. We could do that. So there's nothing that's stopping having that done at all. So that puzzles me the most. And the NAACP, I have to say, because I'm reading again, I'm News and Observer. The NAACP urges companies, Apple and Amazon and others, to stay away from North Carolina over the voter ID bill and charter schools. So let me get this straight. NAACP, you are for black for color, National Organization for Color, whatever you want to say, and you want to stop companies to come to give jobs to people for that simple bill. Wow. Wow. Yeah, you are standing up for people. So because of a bill, I can't get a job. That is a simple bill that doesn't affect nothing. I can't get a job. Thank you. That speaks a lot to me. NAACP. It really does.
I'm Ami Horowitz, and I'm here.
So again, let's see if we could get it to work this time, and so we could finish this up. But I want to, as I said before, play this clip for you.
Voter ID laws suppress the black vote.
Voter ID laws suppress the black vote.
Do you have an opinion on voter ID laws?
Yeah, they're usually pretty racist and they're bad.
I think voter ID laws are a way to perpetuate racism.
Would you go as far as say those laws are racist?
For sure.
Do you think it suppresses the African American vote?
Definitely. Because they're less likely to have state IDs.
Minority voters are less likely to have the kinds of IDs that have been described or required.
These types of people don't live in areas with easy access to DMVs or other places where they can get identification.
You can always get IDs you do over the internet. Does that also make it difficult for black people in particular?
Yeah, you have to have access to the internet. You have to be able to pay an internet service provider for certain fees.
Do you think that's harder for black people to go online?
Well, I feel like they don't have the knowledge of how it works.
A lot of people have smartphones, but you might not have data.
For most of the communities, they don't really know what is out there just because they're not aware or they're not informed. I also think there's a repression of black voting with how if you're a convicted felon, you're not allowed to vote and everything. And when you look at swing states like Florida, that's a huge population of the African Americans.
Now I'm here in East Harlem to ask black people their thoughts on what.
Let's see the other side of the coin.
Do you have ID, Norway? Carry ID around?
Yes, I have state ID.
Do you carry ID?
Yes, I do.
Do you know any black person who doesn't carry ID?
No. Everyone that I know has ID. Why would they think we don't have ID?
That's a lie. Why would you say that?
Do you have ID?
Yes.
I have my ID and my friends have their ID, so we know what we need to carry around.
Everybody that I know have ID. That's one of the things you need to walk around with New York with, the ID.
Do you know any black adult who does not have ID?
No, I don't.
Is it a weird thing to even say that?
Yes, it is.
What is this, some type of trick candy cameras?
I know, right?
That's the only thing I brought with me.
Those are legit IDs. I heard a lot also that black people can't figure out how to get to the DMV.
Really?
What does that say to you?
I know it's that. It's on 25th Street.
Do you know where the DMV is around you?
It's on 125th Street and 3rd Avenue, I believe.
You know how to get there?
Yeah.
Do you have a problem getting there if you have to get there?
No.
I know these sound like silly questions. You know how to get to the DMV?
Of course.
You know where it is?
Yes.
You can get there?
Uh-huh.
No problem.
No problem.
Just checking.
Okay.
And I also heard a lot that black people, especially poor black people, have no access to the internet, can't figure out how to use the internet.
That's just stupidity, honestly. Everybody has access to the internet. Even a little kid can figure out how to work the internet.
I had access to the internet for years.
You know how to use it properly, right?
Exactly. I do it at work. So, of course, I know how to use it. My kids know how to use it. They all have iPads, iPods, whatever.
Your phone has data?
Mm-hmm.
You can access the internet. Unlimited data.
Mm-hmm. I use my phone as a hotspot.
What does that say to you for the people who have this perception about you?
They're pretty much ignorant. That's my thought process on it.
I just think that's ignorant. Ignorant.
That's the way I'm
Very
hearing
ignorant. Very, very ignorant.
Does it sound racist for somebody to say that?
I think it is a little racist because, you're putting people in a category and you have no idea what you're talking about.
Thank you,
There's a little
ma'am.
bit of racist in it, but like I said, I think it's more stupidity and ignorance.
You're judging somebody, you're judging them because they black, saying that they don't got it.
What people are they talking to? Who are these people talking to?
Do you have a problem that if you go to vote and they say, "Can we please see your ID to make sure you are who you say you are"?
I love showing my ID.
You got no problem with that?
Nope.
Would you have a problem if when you go to vote, if they say, "Can we please just see your ID to make sure you are who you say you are"? Do you have an issue with that?
No.
Would you have a problem if there was a rule where you had to show your ID in order to vote?
No.
I don't think so. No.
Would you have an issue if there was a rule saying you got to show your ID before you vote?
Nah.
You cool with that?
Yeah.
There you go, sir. So again, I'll ask you, Roy Cooper, and anybody out there, please tell me how this, not having a voter's ID that people voted for and we voted for it, that have IDs, and I'm black, I'm a minority, I'm an immigrant, I came from a different country, and I got to pay my money, I pay my taxes. How is that suppressing my vote or my family's vote? Who can vote? All my other, none of that. Please tell me, Roy Cooper itself. I want to know, because your explanation doesn't hold water. It makes no logical sense. And as an older lady just said, that sounds more racist by you saying that. Y'all saying that is not racist, but I want you to listen again what people were saying, the opposite side, what people were saying.
Yeah, they're usually pretty racist and
they're pretty racist.
I think voter ID laws are a way to perpetuate racism.
How?
Would you go as far as say those laws are racist?
For sure.
For sure.
Do you think it suppresses the African American vote?
Definitely. Because they're less likely to have state IDs.
We're less likely to have state IDs. Anybody who's listening to me who's this? That's a student telling state IDs.
Minority voters are less likely to have the kinds of IDs that have been described or required.
Described or required. That's a professor who teaches students, saying that this is the kind of stuff that minorities will have less IDs away. So driving, maybe I don't have my ID to drive to get to work. That's a problem, because as I listed off, there were driver's license, school, college ID up to the state standards, military ID, state ID that's for non-drivers, voter card, sir. Again, voter card IDs could be used, but but as black people, we cannot get it.
People don't live in areas with easy access to DMVs or other places where they can get identification.
We don't live in areas that we could get access to IDs and DMVs. Another student.
IDs you do over the internet. Does that also make it difficult for black people in particular?
Yeah, you have to have access to the internet. You have to be able to pay an internet service provider for certain fees.
We have to pay internet service providers to get certain fees.
I think that's harder for black people to go online.
Well, I feel like they don't have the knowledge of how it works.
This is what she said, and
a lot of people have smartphones, but you might not.
And this is the person at a voter's basically gonna vote.
Have data.
For most of the communities, they don't really know what is out there just because they're not aware or it works.
A lot of people have smartphones, but you might not have data.
For most of the communities, they don't really know what is out there just because they're not aware or they're not informed. I also think there's a repression of black vote.
So I just want to make sure you understand that again, Governor Roy Cooper. Please tell me. I will send this video to you through Twitter. You could contact me at projectopenmic@gmail.com. I want to know, why did you veto that bill when we voted twice for it and it surpassed it and it's not defranchising or nothing? The only reason you would do something like that is to stop people from getting. Stop people to figuring out, hey, is this vote fraudulent, or do you want illegals to vote? Because that's the only thing I could come up with. And if I'm wrong, please tell me that, sir, because I want to know, because it makes no sense that we can't have IDs to vote. The island, the same. I used to live on an island called St. Thomas. We have IDs. Nevis is an island I came from. They have IDs. I've been to countries that don't even have IDs, but they use a system to find out that you did not fraudulently vote. it to me is asinine that that North Carolina State, where we voted for it, and in most districts voted 90%, 97% high because of that, voted for this, that you do not want this vote to go through. It makes no logical sense what you stated in your statement, sir. So please, because what these people was, I'm saying this NPR going around asking students, teachers, and people at voters booths about this, and that sounds more racist. And maybe, and I want to know if you're a part of that type of people, because that's more racist than me not getting an ID, sir. Again, you would contact me through projectopenmic@gmail.com or Project Open Mic on Twitter. It's a small channel. It doesn't have big, small chat. I'm just starting it. And just to let you know, I did a radio show a while back, and at the peak, I used to get 9 million people listening to me live. So I have the potential to get out there. Now, I say this to you, sir. I do not want, I'll point it out right here, because of certain things, because I voted for Democrats, voted for Barack Obama the first time and everything. But I'll put it right here, I am registered a libertarian. Why? Because I think both parties have done us wrong. And that's why I think I'm more in the middle to figure what's going on in this country. I have voted for Democrats, I've voted for Republicans. That's not going to change. But I'm telling you right now, if this law goes through as you veto, and you cannot explain this to me, sir, sorry. DMC in North Carolina, you have lost my vote, because I'm not. This is something you should not hang your hats on. You want to hang your hats on other stuff, okay? But this, which people voted for, and you guys took it away from the people, not once but twice, no. But I keep an open ear, and that's what it's called, Project Open Mic, to listen to what people say. So please, sir, again, you contact me through Twitter, Project Open Mic at Twitter, or projectopenmic@gmail.com. And for anybody out there, again, 2019, Project Open Mic, we're going to be exposing and having a conversation of things around the world, because this is getting really, really sad to see what's going on as people vote for things and the government does not follow through with what we vote for. Brexit is an example of that, and many, many more. But with that said, I wish you all a good night. And I hope to, and I am, like I said, I am going to email you, sir. I am going to contact your office, because I want to know why this is racist. Because again, as I play the clip there, if you believe in what you believe in, then you believe what the people just played, and to me that's way more racist than what this is. So have a good night, and I'm willing to hear your you contact me, sir. So for anybody else out there, again, if not, share the video to find out what's going on in the world, because it is crazy how these people belittle us and think that we are not good representatives of what we do for our votes. With that said, I wish everybody out there good night. Don't let most of your politicians overrun you, because they do things that are just unbelievable in my opinion. So Facebook, YouTube, everything and whatever. Thank you all for listening to what I have to say, and let's see what happens after this. Y'all, wish y'all a good night.